Good morning everybody, Calm Biker here. Hope I sound okay. I've got the visor open a notch because it's quite warm this morning, so I'm taking my chances, hoping the weather stays like this, and taking this bike out for its first decent ride. It's been a while because there's been so much rain. I went out 2 days ago on the Z1000 and not this road, but one that runs kind of parallel to it, but probably 10-15 miles that way. There's just a river down the side of the road, so I was quite glad I didn't choose that day to do this little ride. I'm 12 miles in. I have two places I'm going to go and see, and the furthest one is 125 miles away, so this ride is likely to be visor down now. We're going a bit faster. Hope I still sound okay. Yes, it's likely to be about 250 miles today, so a decent run for the bike. So far 12 miles in, 87 miles to the gallon on the Honda Hypermiler. Still haven't come up with a name for it yet. Thanks for all your suggestions. I haven't picked one that really fits, so at the minute I'm kind of calling it the Yorkshire Pudding, but I don't think that's going to stick. We'll see. But yes, I'm off for a ride to go and see a couple of places. I'm going to call it something like the overweight person's ride, or high BMI ride. I don't know, because the two people I'm going to see are quite heavy. The fella, I believe, weighs about 200 tons, and the lady that I'm going to see weighs about 1.5 million tons. So see if you can work out who they are. To get there, I've rigged up the bike with this thing. It's not the best thing in the world. I've had it on the Z1000 before, hanging off a ram mount on the handlebars. This one's hanging off the I don't know if it is an accessory bar or a brace or whatever. I know on Graham's Africa Twin he said that the book said don't attach anything to it. I don't know if the book says that on mine as well, to be honest, but it's only a phone, you know, how much damage can it do? But I got my phone running Calimoto and connected to the little USB thing down there with a non-waterproof USB adapter that I bought from Tesco for £4. I might switch to a waterproof one, but I haven't really decided what to do yet. So I'm after a bit of advice, and the advice is really about the sat-nav. I've never had a sat-nav on the bike that isn't a phone. I had a sat-nav in the car for a long time. It's probably still in the glove box, to be honest. It was a Halford special, 60 quid. Just connected straight into the cigarette lighter, and it was alright, you know. It was hard to get the maps updated. I think you only got a year's worth of updates, so nowadays if I were to use it, it doesn't know about any of the roundabouts where they've changed, you know, crossroads for a roundabout or something, and when there's new road layout. So, you know, I use the phone in the car as well. And I was having a look the other day at sat-navs for the bike to see if they were going to be any better. So I want to know if they're going to be any better than this. I don't have audio in my helmet. I used to have one of them little comm systems, a Bluetooth gizmo that I got off eBay on Skeggy Cruiser's recommendation, and for, you know, technically it was very good. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Connected to your phone, you could answer phone calls on it, you could listen to music, or you could listen to your sat-nav, of course. But I never really got on with it. I found that in the helmet it kind of squished my ears a bit, squished my head a bit, gave me a bit of a headache. I remember using it once. I was planning a ride out. It was one of the ride outs I did in the Peak District, and I was going out there to plan it, and a couple of people came along with me to bike and lurch on a bike. and Lech said, hey, why don't we connect up the wireless, you know, the Bluetooth whatever, and try it on the bike so we can talk to each other as we ride. And that's the one and only time I've ever done it. Nothing against Lech, but I found it the most distracting thing possible. When you're concentrating on riding and making sure everything's safe, and on top of that you're concentrating on trying to work out if you're following the right route or not. Didn't have a sat nav on the bike then. Having somebody talking at you as well, I just found it incredibly distracting, so I never did it again. But anyway, back to the sat nav. So it works fine. I can see now that in 0.3 miles I've got to turn right. I mean, I know that anyway. Most of the route I actually know. I used to drive past what the first thing I'm going to see, the 200-ton man. I used to drive past that almost every day when I was doing some work on a site in Newcastle. But yeah, so it's showing me the way, and if I glance down I can see it, so I don't need the audio, and it's pretty much not in my line of vision to be distracting, but close enough that it's an easy glance down. The phone obviously isn't waterproof, but the case is. The case is slightly awkward that the connecting point to put a wire through, the waterproof wire thing, is underneath, and that's not where fun bits go, is it? Keep an eye on that van. So I've got this wire going in at the left hand side, and the zip partially open at the minute, so I need to get a wire with a 90-degree bend on, I think, so that I can go in through the bottom and round. The phone screen isn't the brightest in bright sunshine, so that's not ideal. So you sometimes have to go like that a bit, but I could solve that by buying one of these things with a sunshade on it, so that's probably not a big deal. And it's a touch screen as well. The touch screen works through that thing weirdly, even with my gloves on. Don't know what they've done on the phone to make all that kind of stuff work even with gloves on. I haven't even painted them with that stuff that you use when you want your gloves to be touch sensitive. But I do wonder if a proper biking sat nav would be better. Is the software better than Calimoto? Is the screen easier to see? It's not going to have this clear layer in front of it that kind of catches the sun, I'm sure. It's not going to go in a bag, is it? But does it justify the price? Because they all cost hundreds of pounds. I'd want them to work on both bikes, so ideally I'd want something that could connect to a RAM mount, but I think the ones I was looking at actually can, so that's not necessarily a problem. The Z1000 isn't very good though for wiring it up. So do the batteries last as long as a phone battery? On this one, this is my Google Pixel 4a, the cheapo version of the 4. It should be called the Google Pixel 4 Yorkshire. But the battery on this lasts about an hour and a half with the GPS on. Obviously it lasts a lot longer than that without it on. It lasts probably a couple of days of normal use, but as soon as you stick a sat nav on something and start using the GPS, your batteries really start to get worked hard, don't they? So just after a bit of advice really, this whole setup, £4 for that thing, for the Tesco charger bit. The bag was about 15 quid, and the phone I own anyway, so even including the wire to charge it, you're probably looking at 20 quid. So a tenth of the price of a proper motorcycle sat nav. But I wonder if the software's better. I really like the fact on Calimoto that I can plan a route and I can plan exactly where I want to go. So I can sit on a computer and I can say I want to go to that place, and on the way I want to stop off there. But then if I scan the way along all of the roads. I can pick every last little road. If I think, no, I don't want to go down that road, I'll take a left there and detour around this little twisty. I can do that. I rarely trust Calimoto to actually give me a twisty route, because it has a habit of overdoing it. I've had it quite often where I've done that in the past, and it'll say turn left here, and it's just a parking area. So it's had to turn left and to get into the parking area, and turn right to come straight back on the road, and it thinks that's an exciting, exhilarating route, when actually it's just a nuisance. So yeah, just after your feedback really. Please let me know what you think in them there comments. Your experiences of sat-nav versus phone. Is there a better software out there than Calimoto? I'm quite happy with it. Even that, I suppose I've missed that out on my pricing, of course. I did buy Calimoto. I don't know if you can still buy it the way I did, because I got it quite early, so I haven't got a subscription to Calimoto. I bought the one-off purchase of all maps, and I think that was about, it was either 50 or 60 pounds for the software and the opportunity to download any map I like for the entire planet, but I don't get any of the additional services like speed camera warnings and traffic warnings and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I suppose there's a benefit in getting that extra stuff, but I'm of the generation that likes to buy things, not rent them. So yeah, please let me know, and I'll wrap this one up. I haven't told you where I'm going yet, you'll have to guess. That'll be in the next one. Thanks for watching everyone, ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.